Good morning, everybody. Welcome to yet another Salty Saturdays. I am your host, Alex the Salty Nerd. Mr. Kadish is out today because he put all of his money into Hailey Welch's Hawk 2 coin and is now crying in the corner. So I will be filling in for his spot today. We have a lot of really fun and interesting topics and a phenomenal group of people joining us for the discussion today, and I'm super thrilled to be able to join. I got to bring that level up, baby.
Man, you are
the legendary Dutch Butters is in the house. What's up?
More energy.
A little more energy. I have no energy, and I'm looking over these this list of topics that sick dude behind you over there gave us this week, and I'm just like, bro.
He's like, I was like,
good Lord.
I'm like, hey man, do you want me to sub in for you this week? He's like, yeah. And then I got the email with all the topics, and I was like, oh shoot.
It's like we got like the world's biggest slut and the other world's biggest slut.
Don't talk about me like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't talk about me or Keanu that way.
How dare you?
But yeah. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun. Glad you're here.
Brian from the podcast is also joining us. What's up, Brian? How you doing, buddy?
Not bad, hanging in there. Working on this gigantic video that has to be released tomorrow, or my sponsor is going to hunt me down, murder my family. So that's a whole thing.
What's the topic? Aliens, right?
Actually, I wasn't going to reveal that, but I
was
supposed to be a surprise.
I didn't know that. Why'd you tell me? You shouldn't.
I guess the cat's out of the bag. Yeah, it's the Alien franchise, and there's 9 effing movies and 15 comics. It's just so involved. I keep picking topics that is like designed to murder me. I got my next one is gonna be something simple like Goonies or something, just to piss off right R&B.
Powder Puff Girls.
Yeah, No, I think there's like 12 seasons of Powder Puff. You're insane. I need like a single movie or like a 1-season cult classic, you know.
And also joining us today is the always classic Keanu Thompson, joining us for the second time. Welcome to the show.
Second time. Yeah, it's good to see you, fine gentlemen. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I hope you're ready for today's topics. And please do not hold back. I want to hear everybody's opinion on all of these things. Before we get into anything else, I do want to give the intros to the shout out to the top supporters: Scotty Dub, Brian G, William Forbes, Mexican Iron Man, and the fine folks who support this channel and gift us subs and super chats and all that cool stuff. You allow us to create content for you and have a lot of fun doing it. We have a goal of 15 gifted subs today, and we are already over 2/3 of the way there. We've got gifted subs. A brand new member, Ajax, who is a port over from our gaming channel. Go to Salty Nerd Gaming on YouTube to check out me in Dutch. Jillian N has gifted 5. Thank you so much, Jillian. Major Chai has gifted another 5. And Eric Winberg gifted 1 Salty membership. That is 11 already, which means we only need 4 more. And we haven't even started the show yet.
We're gonna have to increase the goal.
Hey, can I is Kadish, is he backdoor producing?
Yes.
Is that what he's doing? Is he X-ray girling back there? Is that what's going on?
I am Kermit the Frog today, guys. I've got a hand up my butt.
I like it. I think we need to hire
Makes sense.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. We got a super chat from Anthony Mark for $2. Congratulations to Keanu and Gino. Yeah, that's right. You got married, right?
I did. I'm married. Isn't that weird?
That's phenomenal. It is awesome. Congratulations. I've been married for 13, 14 years now.
21 years for me.
That's great if you want to like conform to the people who need a piece of paper, to proclaim your love for one another.
Says the guy who's been married for like 67 years.
I think he's been married longer than all of us.
23 years.
Yeah, married for longer than most of us have been alive.
Right.
I'm still shocked that I got this long. It's sort of crazy. It's all her. Like, it wasn't me for sure.
Ryan, when people like you and me find one that'll stick around with us, we have to keep them around.
Yeah. It's like you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, right? Like, you find someone that can deal with you. Don't let them go.
You gotta do everything you can to keep them in the house. Yeah,
you're cute and you don't hate me. I think we got a win here.
We're the winner.
Check.
Check and check. That's all the checks I need. Let's go.
We're cute and you don't hate me.
So true.
That's
so
marital advice from the Salty Nerd crew right
Yes.
there.
If you're lucky enough to find one, hang on to it. Okay, that's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying.
We know we're
From-
on. Okay. Someone likes you, don't leave. Okay.
Ah,
I love it.
Man, look at the gifts coming in.
I think we've hit our goal already. We got one gifted sub from Aaron. Is it Chairman or
We
Carmen?
got to increase it then.
Yeah, and then we got 3 gifted subs individually from Ajax that totals us out at 15. We're done with the show. Thank you, everybody.
I mean,
Have a
we're out
great
here.
Saturday.
Have a good night, guys.
We're
All
out of
right.
here.
stay married.
Stay married.
Hey, you got some marriage advice, and we got some subs. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Done. All right. Let's get into the first topic. We're going to be what? Well, see,
Produced.
what is it? The brand show. What is
Brain
this?
show.
What is
Brain
that?
show. My show is
That's your show.
Is
That's
every Saturday at 12:30, about half an hour after this show, except
Okay.
for not this week. Remember, we got demonetized,
Yeah.
and I went to go set the show up yesterday, and it said that I have to wait another 3 days before
my.
I can stream. So first it was a week, then it was 2 weeks, and here we are. But we will 100% be back next week, and I'm coming with all the fire and passion of someone who has been demonetized on the same channel 3 motherfucking times.
It's great.
Ooh.
Brian, you
Wow.
shouldn't be such a controversial figure.
I'm not even that
YouTube.
controversial. It's sort of crazy.
You bring some fire and passion.
That's the problem. It's the passion. And maybe if I was like super racist, but I was also like really low key like this, like
Mhm.
maybe I wouldn't be demonetized.
That's right.
And just a reminder to everybody in the chat right now that you will be redirected to Mephisto's movie reviews right after this show. So stick around, hang out, go check out their channel right after this show is over. All right. Now that my detailed show notes are, I think, wrapped up and completed, let's talk about the Skeleton Crew.
Woo! Go.
I will give you my quick personal opinion. If you think that Star Wars can create a fun and enjoyable TV show that involves little children defeating space pirates, then you should
Gar.
probably go buy Hailey Welch's crypto coin and make a lot of money doing it. I do not like the Goonies. I've been lambasted for that opinion for years and years and years.
Here we go.
Will not change my stance. That movie is terrible, and those
You're
kids
terrible.
are annoying, and I will die on that hill. That being
Terrible,
said,
and your mother hates you.
that being said, I have not watched these episodes because I haven't watched anything from Disney in probably a good 6 months or more.
How can you give a review on something you haven't seen?
I'm not reviewing it. I'm not reviewing it. I'm just giving you my opinion on the topic at hand. Is kids in a space pirate movie probably going to be terrible? But I've been disagreed with on a lot of bases. And I know Critical Drinker said he enjoyed it. Brian over here, we'll get to his opinion in a minute. But first, let me discuss it with Dutch Butters. What is your take? Have you watched the show? Have you seen the 2 episodes?
I did watch it because we have Disney with the commercials turned on, so I don't pay very much for it. And it was terrible because these are like 30-minute episodes with like 18 commercial breaks thrown in the middle of them if you don't pay for the commercial free version. And I did not enjoy myself, mostly because I kept on breaking up because of the commercials.
Commercials ruin it.
It was ridiculous how many commercials they put in this thing. But no, it didn't feel like a Star Wars show to me. It's like they're in the suburbs. It's like I don't know what they're trying to do here. It was a very strange take on Star Wars. You know, I'm used to desert planets and swamp planets and city planets and stuff. And so it was weird seeing these kids, you know, riding bikes through neighborhoods with, you know,
Hover bikes.
hover bikes and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Real dangerous for kids too, you know? No, my initial take is it's just Goonies in space with Muppets. And I do not like Muppet shows. These Star Wars Muppets are ridiculous. You know, it's all these CGI and fake plastic masks on all these pirates and yar, you know, and it's just, I didn't like it. I didn't like the robot with the squirrel in his eye socket. You know, I can see why he would probably I can see why they would sell a lot of toys with him, but
I'm buying that toy.
But new Star Wars fans don't spend money on toys, so they're not going to sell any. And it's just not for me, man. This isn't a show that I'm really all that interested. I wanted to see the first couple episodes, but I don't think I'm going to continue watching the show after this because it's just I'm 40 years older than their their base that they're trying to sell this thing to. So my Star Wars fan days are over, man. So it's just not for me.
Let me ask you before we get to Brian, why do you think guys like Brian, Critical Drinker, why do you think they're enjoying the show?
They're hanging on to their nostalgia. They haven't given up yet.
Nope.
Yeah, you haven't given up yet. You still got a little hope, brother. You got a little hope that Star Wars can be good. And
want to fight, bro? You want to fight?
Look, hey, you see
like
all those? I got a wall. Of Star
this is
Wars
why I get demonetized. I just feel
threatening
you people. I gotta stop threatening people on the street.
No, look, if it was entertainment and enjoyable for me, I would tell you. I have no problem going with or against people's thoughts. It just wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy it. I thought the characters were kind of plastic. The kids were not great actors. That the little lesbian couple annoys me. It's just I didn't like the little blue elephant kid. Yeah, because it looks like he's wearing a freaking plastic mask. It's not well done. I don't like it.
When's the last time you saw Return of the Jedi?
I know, bro.
I have the same problem with that movie.
Thinking about the plastic mask, like at least pounds better than the original Star Wars.
So it's just not for me.
Do you remember the teddy bears that were actively hunting
terrible.
and murdering people?
Hate them. Okay. That is not a good movie. That's the worst movie of the original trilogy. So.
All right, let's get to Brian. Brian, shed some joy on this topic.
So
why did you enjoy this?
Everything Dutch Butters said is coming from a place of extreme negativity.
No, it's not.
Look, you don't have to like it, but dude, you watched it with 37 commercials. Like
I did.
You're already coming from a place of
because I knew we were going to be talking about it here, and I don't like to talk about things that I haven't seen.
I get it. Like get Pirate Bay or something, dude. I mean, I'm not condoning that, but like, okay, look. So I watched it. I actually thought it was very good. The makeup and stuff, it's very clearly campy Star Wars, but it wasn't bad. The actors, specifically Ryan Kira Armstrong, am I saying that right? The main little active girl. She's super charming. The robot's cool as hell. The robot with the rat is cool. And I'm not saying it's Keanu.
He be talking like a pirate.
It's not, it's not premium cinema. But it definitely scratches a cool little sci-fi itch. It's clearly family friendly. There's nothing woke about it or weird yet, I should say. And I enjoy it. And assuming it stays in that vein, I'm going to watch it with my kids and probably have a good time. I did like the Goonies. I love the Goonies, and I did like Star Wars. So you give me a little Star Wars and the Goonies, I'm up for it. Now, current Star Wars, I'm so apathetic to. I don't care. I watched this because we were going to talk about it on today's show. I knew it, and I expected super cringe, boring. I expected this is what Star Wars nowadays is: cringe, boring, and woke. There was nothing cringe about it. It was super charming. Nothing boring about it whatsoever. I really wanted to watch another episode, and it wasn't woke. So I got all of that into one. The characters were fun. The pirate stuff was fun, and I'm interested to see what happens next in the show. It was good. It wasn't great, but it was certainly good. And in nowadays, you give me anything that is Star Wars and good, then it's bound to make a mark because nowadays Star Wars is so poorly done. So the bar is pretty low.
If I can kind of take what you're saying there, are you saying that this show is good because everything else is so bad?
No, I'm saying the bar is low. So, I'm so like you're surprised when you watch it, you're like, damn, I'm entertained and I don't hate these characters at all.
Here's when I think of Star Wars.
Sounds like you talk about your wife. Kind of likes me. And she
kind of likes me.
Yeah, she sort of likes me.
We get along. It's okay.
Yeah.
We get along. It's fine. I haven't seen her in a few days, but she's around here somewhere.
Every once in a while, she lets me do really freaky things to her. So
it's good. It works.
All right.
No, I mean, it's good, especially if you have kids. Like you're gonna enjoy. I have two 13-year-old daughters. Like they like science fiction like I do. They like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and shit like that. So they're gonna probably dig this. And current Star Wars, was so uninteresting. Not only did I not want to show it them because I don't like the messaging, I didn't want to watch it.
Mhm.
So now I got something I can watch that is it's a cool sci-fi thing. It's perfect for their age group for sure. I might be a little over the age that it was made for, but I'm like 17 in my mind, so I'm having a good time.
All right, Keanu, I'm going to get to you next, but first I just wanted to say hello to Odin. Welcome to the show, sir. Thanks for being here.
Hi. Glad to be here. Sorry, I was a bit later than usual. Sun actually went down around the same time, but then my dogs took forever to come back in. So
all good, man. Family
I'm
first.
waiting for Odin to make fun of me for liking Skeleton Crew.
We'll get there in a second.
I won't make fun of you, but I have some things to say.
All right, cool. Keanu, have you seen the Skeleton TV show? Are you interested at all in what's going on with Star Wars? Talk to us.
No idea that it even existed until I got the show notes.
Perfect.
So I watched some clips. I'm not particularly fond of Star Wars, and I'm not particularly fond of children. Probably even Star Wars more than children. So this would not seemingly be the thing for me. But I did watch some clips. I like the idea of a robot babysitter or nanny or teacher or whatever it is.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Or isn't one of them like they described him as like he kind of watches the children or something, but all the children act like adults anyway. I just want to know, when does 11 show up with a nosebleed? That's exactly what it seems like to me. But
Yes,
there's something kind of like one of you said, it's charming to see kids that like act like adults somehow. So it's not often that I like watch something that's like geared towards children, but when I do, I'm always pleasantly surprised. So I might check it out. But
Okay. So you're intrigued. That's interesting.
I'm intrigued.
Happy to hear that,
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't watched anything Star Wars since the one with Padme, to be honest with you.
Whoa,
But,
really?
I don't think
Nice.
so. Or no, you know what? I saw the Adam Driver one, but yeah, I'm sure your whole chat is blowing up with like, she's a moron. What is she doing here? But I come here to learn as well.
You've saved a lot of stress.
Something just dawned on me, and I'm probably really stupid for not catching up on this earlier. But Nick Frost does the voice of the robot, the pirate robot.
Yeah. Okay.
The robot's name is SM-33. Spell that out.
Smee from Captain Hook.
From Peter
That's
Pan.
cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that. That's cool.
That's a nice little nod.
Yeah, see,
Don't mind
Star
that.
Wars used to do that a lot, and
Mhm.
then they just stopped, or
It's like-
their acronyms started. We're about BSDM or something crazy.
That's kind of cool though, because that reminds me of something like Indiana Jones in the Raiders of the Lost Ark, when the plane had C-3PO on the side of it when they were flying out of the jungle.
Mhm.
Like that's that kind of a nod. Like you wouldn't notice it if you're not looking for it, but those who know.
That is
I
not
like
the
that.
reaction I was expecting out of you guys.
I like that. I like
I
that.
like that. That's cute.
It's cool. Even
Yeah.
Easter eggs that don't affect the story and only add to the fan base is cool. That's cool.
Maybe werewolf guy should have a hook on his hand.
I think it also works because the robot character is good.
Yeah, the robot character is very
it's
good.
at least for me, it was the best part of the show.
Same.
Maybe
Same.
there'll be a giant space whale will be chasing the ship around with a clock in his belly that he ate.
Hook. Where's
That
the
was a
hook?
crocodile.
See, Smee only makes me think of the film Hook, which is amazing.
I
Yeah.
need somebody
Yes.
to say. I need somebody in the show
Rufio,
to say.
Rufio,
Rufio. Bangarang, Rufio.
Bangarang.
I love that movie.
Great
All
Christmas
right.
movie too.
Well, that is the one that's interesting. I never really thought about that before, but that is the one movie that has like a predominantly child cast that is actually good. Is Captain Hook. I really enjoy that movie.
Movies were good back then.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Even
I'll have
Disney
to-
movies were good back then. So.
I'll have to dig deep into my hatred of kids movies and find out why I like that one more. Maybe it's Robin Williams. Odin. All right, Odin.
Yes.
Talk to me, sir. Bring the positivity up a little bit. Talk to me about this Skeleton Crew show.
Positivity?
Positive.
Is that what
Oh, are
you-
you gonna poo-poo
I mean,
it?
I'm not gonna
Odin's
hate.
not a
I'm not gonna
positive
hate on
person.
it by any means. But
Okay.
here's my issue with the show in general: is that the show would be better if it wasn't in Star Wars.
Yeah, you're right.
The entire time I'm watching it, I'm like, I like the characters. I like the actors that are playing them, but this just does not really fit within Star Wars. It feels like Star Wars is this artificial backdrop that they decided, hey, well, we need to make like a Goonies in space with Star Wars. Let's go ahead and just play with it. And I can see what they were trying to do, right? They're trying to broaden the horizons of the Star Wars IP and universe, but I think because especially how much they have just dug a hole for the franchise, it just feels like desperation, and it just feels completely unnecessary. Like, I would rather have seen these characters and these actors in a completely independent world that has not attached to Star Wars in any way, that has no attachment to the Jedi or to the Force, and I think it actually would have worked a lot better. Because otherwise it just feels like a derivative of other things, which, again, it's fine. It's not a bad derivative by any means, but it is still a derivative nonetheless. And when we are in the era of Star Wars where we are, really as fans deserving really good, top quality original content, when all we're getting is bad content, or in this case, a decent derivative content, that is the reason why I ultimately am not a huge fan of the show. So that's why, as I said, like, I think the kids are good. I think the acting is good. I think that all of those pieces and parts are there. But the issue actually for it, oddly enough, is Star Wars. It is the fact that the Star Wars brand is attached to it and that those elements are being added in. Like his friend. Why does that friend have to be a Max Rebo child? Like, that just does not really work well. Like, it just doesn't look really good. And also, like, they took Max Rebo and decided to make this alien like a normal, regular, everyday human family type person. It's like, okay, so now you're just doing it arbitrarily. No, like the Max Rebo character, like his family. Like when he's like, all right, I'm gonna go see my parents now, and they go inside, like, oh, hey, how's it going? They're just acting like normal human persons.
I don't know who that is. Why can't they be human?
Yeah, it's the piano player from Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah, Max Rebo.
Max Rebo.
Yeah.
Yeah, the giant elephant. And in this case, it's an elephant child. No, it's more of a, they did that because they're like, oh, you're going to remember this is the whole Max Rebo thing. He's connected to that character you remember from the original films.
Dude, I had no idea who that was.
Yeah. And so, like, at least, again, for me, I was like, oh, I get it. That's the Max Rebo character. Oh, he's just going to act like a normal human. So this person could have just been a human friend.
Is it actually Max Rebo, or is it just the same species?
It's not Max. I don't believe it's Max. I don't think time-wise that would work out, but it's
same race.
Same species. Max
My
Rebo
criticism was the little robot glasses girl. Like, I've always hated that. Even in the original Star Wars, I literally hated that. I think they look stupid, cheasy.
Yeah, I don't know what she is either, right? Because it's like, is she human or is she an android? Or
we've kept this going for like 35, 40 years now, and I'm like, I didn't understand it then. I don't understand it now.
I feel like Keanu is drowning in nerdom right now. She's like, what is happening?
I'm just trying to keep up. I'm like, oh, I know what an android is.
Now, Keanu, I have to tell you a little bit about a guy named Lobot, all right? And just hear me.
Yeah, I don't know any of these names. Like, Odin knows the name of the keyboard player.
It's Max Rebo.
How do you not know that?
I don't know that.
Are you even a Star Wars fan? How old
I guess I'm not, because I don't know the name of the
What's the name of the little dude
that played piano for 3 seconds?
What's the name of the little dude that's in the fat rolls of Jabba the Hutt?
Salacious Crumb.
I was asking Brian. I know he doesn't know it.
I don't remember his name, but my wife and I role play as those two characters.
Excellent retort.
Now that I
Excellent
understand. Calling yourself fat. Is that it? Okay.
So which one says ho ho ho?
That's me.
Santa Claus? All right. I'm gonna real quick.
I know I have to watch this now. I just like the last time I did this, and I went right out and watched whatever it was we were talking about. So,
which is funny enough because I think Keanu might be Disney's target audience. It's people who haven't watched Star Wars in a while, and they're like, "Yeah, we got to get this lady to watch our show. Come on in." And now we've just hooked her.
And I went, "It is enticing. You're right. I mean, all right."
Yeah. See, Disney they know what they're doing. All right. By the request of our gracious producer, he wrote a tweet about this show that I'm going to now read verbatim.
No.
I'm gonna try to do it as fast as I can.
Oh my god, it's so long.
It's so long.
What the heck?
All right. Let me put my voice actor's hat on and jump into this real quick.
Goodness.
Okay, here we go. I've heard Skeleton Crew is supposed to be Goonies in the Star Wars universe. It isn't. As a Goonies fan, the fun of watching Goonies was seeing a tight-knit group of outcast kids come together for a crazy mission to save their community. Each kid had an interesting and well-defined personality that made them unique and fun to watch. They each stood out among the group. You remembered all their names. I added all in there because it's better. But most of all, each character was smart. And I don't mean smart in the terms of book smart or street smart, but they were able to solve puzzles and riddles and also figure out how to survive traps meant to kill them and fight off dangerous criminals. In short, they were resourceful, but they also drove the action and plot forward in a believable way. The problem with Skeleton Crew is that none of the kids are interesting. Their dynamic is bad, and they're all dumb. Everything that goes wrong with them is caused by them being stupid, which may be accurate for kids their age, but doesn't make you root for them. Things happen to them, and they make things worse by being dumb, the opposite of how it worked in The Goonies. Also, the main girl boss, quote unquote, is insufferable. She's probably the most unlikable character in the show. She's essentially Charlie Sheen from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but in preteen female form. All she does from the moment she appears on screen is act like a complete entitled bitch. She's not funny or smart or inspiring. She puts down the boys and exploits situations for her own gain. She's selfish, greedy, and worst of all, mean-spirited. Kadish was bullied by a girl when he was younger, I swear to God.
100%. 100%.
Compare her to Mickey, the de facto leader of the Goonies, who brings his crew together through optimism and single-minded mission to help everyone and their families and keep his friends together. There is no comparison. Honestly, I was surprised at how boring and stupid the first 2 episodes of this show have been. I know some people are praising it, but I think that's down to 1, the Star Wars brand, 2, it's not overtly badly written, and 3, it's not The Acolyte. But anyone who thinks this show is up there with The Goonies is just plain wrong. The makers of the show have proven that they have no idea what made The Goonies a classic film that's standing the test of time. Skeleton Crew is a complete misfire and another in a long line of Lucasfilm failures. Will it get better? Maybe, but I seriously doubt it based on what I've seen so far. So my question to the panel is, who hurt Matthew Kadish?
Yeah.
Odin, I'm sending it to you.
I mean, I feel like it had to have been a you know what, in this show, that little boy that just makes all the mistakes, that like, you know, sends him into hyperspace because he's playing with the buttons, he's told not to touch things, he touches them anyway. I think that's the kind of person Kadish was, and so he must have had some older girlfriend that was, you know, putting him down in his life and keeping him on track. That must have been what happened to him. That's the only guess I have.
It's so crazy because I like the character, the little that's the out of the kids, the one that takes charge is she's the most charming so far.
I wouldn't say she's charming. I wouldn't say she's. I wouldn't say she's charming. Okay.
I don't know the word for it, but like she captures her role.
Well, I wouldn't call the child a biatch like Mr. Kadish would, because she's a child.
Yeah,
but
that's pretty crazy. I was a little over the top on. I think she does a good job. I normally don't like kid actors, but I didn't dislike her.
I'm a wordsmith.
Jesus.
I feel like I'm talking to an AI now. It's like, I'm a wordsmith.
Folks.
I'm sorry I had to go away there for a second, but I had previously read Kadish's comment, and I agree with about 90% of what he said. So, yeah.
Wow.
And I hardly ever agree with him. You know that. So.
This is true.
He's going a little
like
nuts.
You can't let go of the past. Like, it's not
no, I can't. I can't.
The leader of the Goonies can be a little biatch if you know, if that's what's popular right now. So
he was a little
if
bit
you're
of a
huge
pain in the
fan of
butt.
something, then I guess like seeing it sort of, this isn't a remake of the Goonies, but it's what it's reminding people of. So if it's like nostalgia makes people crazy, that's why I hate it. So
I only compare it to the Goonies because I don't have anything else to compare it to. But it's not the Goonies. It's not Star Wars Goonies. It's not.
Yeah. Well, I don't think anyone's saying it's on the same level. I think,
and no one on this panel ever said it was on the same level. That's fact.
No.
It's more of it's borrowing the ideas clearly from a property like Goonies.
But other movies and TV shows have already done this. Like we saw this in Prodigy 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, Stranger Things is a Goonies ripoff as well. Like it's right. Like Goonies was the trendsetter, and everything that comes after that now is just inevitably going to be compared to it, regardless.
Or like the new It movie. Is that sort of like same thing? That has Stranger Kids in it, Stranger Things in it.
I finally read the It book. Oh man, it's weird. The movie is way better.
The book is wild,
wild, bro. Never. I do
a
not
lot
recommend.
of weird shit happens in that one.
All right.
Much darker.
Does can we put this topic to bed, and we'll read the super chat here in a second. Does anybody have any final words for Skeleton Crew? Any
I hope it stays good. I hope the message stays out of it. And as long as, when I say the message, I'm referring to in Critical Drinkers version of it, the quote unquote the message. I don't want a whole bunch of propaganda, LGBT nonsense. Like don't put down religion. Don't promote depravity. Like, it's a kid's movie, it's a kid's show, so let's keep it that way, and it's going to be great. And if they do that, it'll be a good watch, especially if you have kids.
Yeah. And two things. Criticalist score for me, it's a decent. It's like right at a 50% for me right now.
Yeah,
again, could go higher or lower. Again, it's fine.
70,
it's fine. But the second point is, I really hope there's a redemption arc for his dad, like the main kid's dad, because that guy was so disappointing.
Insufferable.
Like, as a parent, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, the child is clearly young enough to still have bedtime stories, and for his dad to be like, aren't you a little too old for that? I wanted to smack him. I was like, you read your child a bedtime story right now, dude.
I'm calling right now. When they get back after this harrowing adventure, the dad's gonna be like, I'm so sorry I wasn't there for you. It's gonna be one of those. We saw that in Goonies.
Mm-hmm. That is fair.
Yeah, that's real. It's like an 80s parent.
I predict wokeness very soon.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Just saying.
All right, we got a super chat for $1.99 from Whole Life Cheese and Rice.
No.
Is that how? No, say it by all means. Go ahead.
Holy fuck, cheese and rice.
Okay.
Oh,
This seems to be directed at Keanu. I'll be your wish. I'll be your hope, Keanu.
okay.
I just think it's funny the way Alex said that, like a total normal.
Well, Alex doesn't know that this guy comes in every week and tries to make.
Yeah, that's what made it funny though. He just tried to read it like it was regular.
Oh yeah, holy fook cheese and rice.
He changes his name every now and then for more
cheese and rice.
Yeah.
So sometimes Kadish will read it like the Trade Federation in the prequels.
Yeah.
This is a decoy. Holy
Yeah.
God,
it's a holy fuck cheese and rice.
Cheese and rice.
All right, Mr. Producer Man, what is the next topic that we're pulling up here? Germ. All right, let's talk about germ here for a second. There's an article that has been pulled up. 90% of it, a good 90% of it, has to do with him and his childhood friend making some short films. It's actually a pretty heartfelt article, but there is one sentence at the very last paragraph of this thing that has to do with Game of Thrones, which is all anybody gives a shit about. He's basically saying, oh, he'll never finish, or his friend was saying basically he's never going to finish these books. I don't know. And then George R. R. Martin says maybe they're right. I don't know. I'm alive right now. I seem pretty vital, but then he adds that he's never going to retire because he's not, quote, a golfer. This, to me, is just a real nothing burger. He's not going to finish them.
He's not going to finish them.
No.
Why would he?
The
second he finishes them, then the long extended 15 minutes is up. Of course, he's not going to finish them.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. If I was in his place, I wouldn't finish them either. I would make prequels and sequels and spin-offs, and I would never finish what I was known for. Of course not. I would tease it though. I'd be like, maybe next year we'll see working on some stuff. Like I would take that to my grave. I would leave that last book just never read.
That's exactly what he's going to do. And it's probably going to be some ghostwriter who's actually going to finish it freaking 20 years from now or something. Keanu, can I ask you first, if you are a fan of Game of Thrones, the series, have you watched the show, or do you read the books? What's your take on what the hell is Germ doing to take so long on this book?
It's another one that I am unfamiliar with. I have seen Game of Thrones. I have seen it. But again, I couldn't tell you one thing that happened. And I don't think I watched it to the end. My mother loves it. It's a little fantastical for me. And I certainly wouldn't read the book. So I couldn't I don't think I would even he's saying he's going to write a new one. Is that it? Because people are huge fans of the books.
Well, not a new one. The conclusion to the story still hasn't been written in book form. And he's been 11 years, 12 years since the last book came out?
He absolutely should, but he's just not going to do it. He's just going to toy with us.
Well, he's like 70 and overweight and in bad health.
70 is the new 40. I married a man 54 years older than me. He's fine. No.
He's fine.
No,
Have you seen George R. R. Martin?
70 is the new. I mean, yeah.
He looks like a
maybe
potato.
70 is the new 40, but once you weigh 450 pounds, like 70 is the new 19.
Can we pull a picture up of George R. R. Martin real quick on the screen for Keanu?
Like-
Just real quick.
I did see it. He looked cute, like Santa.
Yeah.
He looks like a yard gnome.
He looks like
Right.
a gnome.
I know.
Yeah,
I love his hat.
he is looking at a gnome.
Damn books. The people want to know.
Yeah.
He has the personality of a yard gnome.
Yeah. Well, see, the fans like your mother probably, I don't know, I'm making an assumption here, a complete assumption, but a lot of fans, the vast majority of fans, were very disappointed with the last season of the TV show. And they are looking to the author of the books to come out with the last story that kind of, for lack of a better term, makes up for the fact that season 8 was terrible and like give them an actual good conclusion to the story. And he's just not doing it. He's super distracted.
Okay, look, you guys. It will only be a failure. People have built this up for so long. It's better to, from his perspective, to never finish it. Because even if he writes the perfect ending, there's still going to be plenty of people that hate it.
Does this remind any? This sounds like the exact plot of Misery, right? Like he's gonna get in a car accident, and then a huge super
Kind
fan
of.
is going to find him, hobble him, and make him finish the book, and then they won't like it, and then they'll burn that one, and then they'll have to rewrite it. I mean, maybe that's why he's too afraid to finish.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
Oh, his name is
Somebody's
Gary
gonna,
Beekler.
Kathy Bates is gonna find him.
Gary
and make
Beekler
him finish
is gonna
Game
find
of
him.
Thrones.
Yeah, I think Keanu's onto something there.
Gary's like, I gotta take a break for a couple months, guys.
He comes back. He's like, "We did it.
We did it. We
It's
got it.
finished."
Gary, where's Germ at? Where is he?
George R. R. Martin comes out in a wheelchair and 2 black eyes. All right, guys, I finished the book.
Exactly.
All right, Odin, what's your take on this, man?
He has to write 2 more books. Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's
God.
like this book to finish, and then there's one last book after that. So just, like with the book that still has not yet come out, it's that and another book. So 2 books.
Never
there.
happening.
Yeah, I mean, I've read the first book, and that's about where I stopped because it's a little bit too much for me, for my sensibilities. The writing is still
right. A lot of penises.
a lot of sexual stuff,
A ton
right?
of penises.
Yeah,
Very
a lot of that.
descriptive penises.
Very
Penis
too.
again.
Too descriptive in many ways. But so as far as the writing goes, I don't really care as much. I'm the same with the show though, right? Season 8 just fell off a cliff, and even my wife, who's not really a part of this space, disagrees with me on a lot of things, even politically. Even she was like, wow, this got really bad really quickly. Like we were laughing at the last 2 episodes, especially. And so I think that this, like just as an outsider kind of in the book space, at least, I think that it's honestly, it's a bit selfish on his part. And I guess you could argue that he has the right to be because he's the author, he's the creator. But also at the same time, it's like if you're going to create a world and then you're going to try to get people invested into that world, it's like, come on, like you kind of owe them to finish a story, right? To give them a complete story at some point. And so like the fact that he's done so many other things since, like he has put out like other books, he has helped put out other shows like House of Dragon. Like he's done so many other things where clearly he could have been spending that time working on this book instead. And the fact that he hasn't is just, honestly, it's incredibly infuriating. Even as someone who's not a huge fan of the books or waiting for it with bated breath, I'm frustrated on behalf of the fans because it's like I can at least understand why you would be frustrated by that.
I have 2 things to say. First off, I have never read the books, but I decided I was going to read the books when I was watching the show. So like around season 3 came out, right? And, I'm like, you know what? I need to start reading these books, but I wasn't really aware of the whole controversy and all this kind of stuff at that point yet. So I bought the books and I told myself, I'm not going to read the books until after the show's over. Right. And now the show's over, but I didn't realize at the time that he hadn't finished the books. So I got all the books down there in that shelf, but I haven't read a single word of any of them because I'm still waiting for him to release the last one. And I don't think I'm ever going to get to read them because I still have that whole thing where I'm going to wait until they're all there before I start. And I had something else to say, but I completely forgot what it was during that. So I'm going to move on. Go ahead, Alex.
I was going to say, Kadish just walked out of the room.
I know.
Guys.
Oh my
Say
God.
Whatever we want.
Whatever we want. Yeah.
All right.
I saw it. I was like, wait a minute, he's here? I thought he was on the road somewhere.
No, he's literally puppeteering in the back seat over here. It's all good. Okay, yeah. So Brian, did you chimed in already on this on
I'm
Germ
good.
over here? Okay. Keanu, you've
Yeah.
chimed in. Dutch, everybody. Odin's good. Okay, cool.
Oh,
Good.
you know what it is I think it would be funny if we all found out that Germ is like the world's biggest troll. I have this theory that he has the books finished, written, and done, but they're just in his vault and he's waiting to die. So
That would be hardcore.
when he does die here in a few years, he can release them upon the world and with his last final gift to the planet. I think that would be pretty epic if he did something like that.
I am 100% in agreement with you because here's the thing: if this guy dies, and we're not wishing anything evil to happen.
No, not at all.
Just to be clear, for YouTube's sake, we're not hoping anything happens. But when and if it does happen, and then he had these books already done, and he doesn't release them until after his death, the money that is generated goes to his estate, which would go to his family or friends or whoever he has there, and then he doesn't have to deal with the freaking fans' criticism.
Not at all.
At all. He's like, what do I care if the fans didn't like it or not? I'm going to be dead.
Yeah.
Who gives a crap? You guys can hate on it all you want.
You guys don't like all the gay sex? I don't care. It's there anyways. Yeah, dragons are having sex with other dragons.
How epic would that be, though? How epic would that be?
I think that's the move. I think that's the move. I would do it if I was him. I'm like, look, man, it's already written. It's done. It's not going to be
written. A dead man switch. What about this? When he dies, right? It just gets released and on the internet.
Yeah, free.
And like, there's one last middle finger to all the debt collectors and his book company and publishers and all that.
Yeah, greedy publishers. On a related note, I guess I just purchased the full box set of the Lord of the Rings for my kids. I've got it, the leather bound, the whole thing. It's going to be sitting on my shelf. I'm done with Fellowship, moving on to Twin Towers. And that to speak to Odin before about having like, I bet you're too old for bedtime stories. I read good stuff to my kids before they go to bed, like Lord of the Rings and Earthman Jack from Mr. Kadish over here, stuff like that. Okay. What is up next there? We don't have any super chats to read, so we're going to move on to the next topic. Go ahead and pull up that slide there, Mr. Kadish.
Remember he left or he's back?
No, he
he's
can
back.
see it.
Okay.
He can see it.
The topic of the day, boys and girls. Here we go.
Tuah.
Hailey Welch, the crypto scam that heard around the world. Okay. I don't know how up to date you are on this. There's a innumerable amount of videos that break down exactly what happened.
I was in the spaces that they had about this.
Oh, did you? That was such a cluster.
Wild spaces. I normally don't care about spaces, but this one was so good.
It was so funny, dude. Coffeezilla just freaking completely.
Coffeezilla was being really hyper aggressive. I feel like you could have gotten more information by just like taking it down 3 degrees.
Okay. Let's set the stage here for people who might not follow Tuah Girl. So the meme, the Tuah Girl spit on that thing that happened back in June, single-handedly saved us for the entire summer. We just sharing memes back and forth. My group chat on Instagram was just Tuah meme after meme after meme.
Yeah, it was great. When it went from all this hyper political stuff to Tuah,
it was fantastic.
I think she saved the country. Actually,
I think she really did. For a short period of time there, she did the world a favor. I loved her for it. All of my guy friends loved her for it. We were having a ton of fun, and she was able to capitalize on that fame and on that 15 minutes on that viral video. She was able to turn it into a podcast. She had sponsorships. She had business deals. She was hanging out with Matt Rife and other comedians. She went to the Tyson and frickin' Jake Paul fight, for Christ's sake. She probably didn't pay for that ticket.
No.
She had capitalized so well on this. I was so proud of her. I was like, look at this girl just freaking getting it. Go get that fame. Go for it. And inevitably, unfortunately, they took the turn towards the crypto market. I think, in my personal opinion, I don't really have much to back this up with. That's just my take on it. Is I think she got taken advantage of by people. She didn't really know what she was getting into, and now she's backed into a corner, and she's becoming defensive. Now, one of the things, if you watch the Twitter Spaces rewind or whatever, she gets real defensive and a real bad look. She's just like, "Oh, fuck you." Oh, I don't know if I can swear on the show or not, but she's like, "Ah, fuck you guys. It's, we're not doing nothing." Blah, blah. It just all became this brick wall of defensiveness, and it's
because
just
she's being told that they're not doing anything. And let's be honest, she's not a crypto professional.
No.
Like, dude, she's not a tech person, and I'm not disparaging her, but she's not someone that knows about crypto. Someone was like, you know what? You got to do a hot coin. And she's like, that sounds fun. Let's do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
a hot coin? What's that? I'm
Yeah.
in.
Right. And
Exactly.
then her entire group, not the entire group, but she has a huge group of people that is managing this for her, and they rug pull like we've seen before. And I gotta say, no offense to anyone who lost money on these rug pull coins, but why are you buying influencer coins? Stop it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, don't buy shit coins. Most coins are not worth your time. It's like 99.9% of these coins are not worth your time. Stop it. And don't put your life savings in a coin because a podcast host told you it was a good idea. That's insane.
Yeah.
That is insane. And honestly, a little bit of Darwinism going on. If you lost your life savings because the Hawk Tuah girl told you to buy her a coin, maybe
natural selection. Natural selection, man.
Maybe it was meant to be. Maybe she's cleaning up the timeline. I don't know, but don't be buying. Don't buy coins from celebrities, influencers, or internet anyone.
There is a Dutch Butters coin coming out later next year.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
So,
speaking of which, we have a podcast coin coming out.
Yeah, that's right.
It's going to be the biggest thing ever.
I promise I won't rug pull it.
It's going to be bigger than
not at all.
Dude, think about this. These people, Hawk Tuah specifically, what's her real name?
Hailey Welch.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Hailey Welch.
Okay, so Hailey Welch, before she was Hawk Tuah girl, she was a regular working blue collar person.
Mm-hmm.
And in a period of a couple years, she has got this incredible amount of fame. And then someone goes, let's make a coin, right? And she goes, you mean like Bitcoin? Yeah, like Bitcoin. Okay. And so here comes Bitcoin. And then look, I'm a pretty good guy. But if I saw $100 million on the table and all I had to do was sell what I already created, I'm not going to lie to you, that would be a hard moral predicament for me. As someone who has worked my entire life, 2-3 jobs, 18 hours a day sometimes, if you were like, hey, here's a free $100 million, and all you got to do is pull the rug, I might do it. And so you have these people that come up with these coins, and I'm not blaming the victim, but honestly, you shouldn't be buying these coins. Stop it.
Yeah. It's really hard. Like, I understand that like they did some real illegal shit during this whole transaction, and rightfully so. They're probably going to be getting a lot of heat for that. But honestly, I have a really hard time empathizing with the victims. I'm with Brian on this 100%. It's like, what did you think was going to happen? Really? Keanu, I'd love to get your take on this. Have you been keeping up with Hailey Welch, the Hawk Tuah girl?
Of course. First and foremost, somehow this is Bill Maher's fault. I don't know why, but it is. I don't know. It's Bill Maher's fault. Don't hate the man or anything, but it is. And it's offensive that they didn't call them Tuah tokens.
Oh.
If that was the name of it, then things might have turned out differently. Also, I do feel for the people that were stupid enough, like, oh, hello, here's my husband.
I would have called them bitch coins.
Yeah.
First she stands up. I'm out.
It's not a bad idea.
See you later, everybody. I'm out of
The
here.
Seinfeld reference. The Seinfeld reference was peak.
Yeah, I never watched Seinfeld. He has Alzheimer's. He can't help himself. I do feel bad for the people that invested, but it looks like it's like how, like you said, the target audience of this new Star Wars with children, Goonies in Space, was targeted towards me. This was targeted towards idiots like me I know nothing about cryptocurrency. I give out Kiki bucks on my show, but you don't buy them. We have Kiki coins and Kiki bucks and Mickey money and all these things, but it's not like it's just a fun little goofy thing. I feel like Hailey Welch was like, that sounds like so much fun. Let's do it. I'll put my face on that. She should have been selling, tequila like George Clooney.
Yeah.
Not
There you go. Yeah.
cryptocurrency. She got
Or like those little leather wallets.
something. Right. She does. She's being, I think she got caught up with some nefarious people that wanted to like capitalize
Like the guy,
fame,
he has like a really weird name. It's like legendary or something or whatever.
Oh, and the guy that talks in the meeting, it reminds me of the Michael Scott shareholders meeting where they put Michael in a limo and they're like, he's like, wee, and then they're like, everyone's so angry.
Coffeezilla was like, so who owns the foundation? No, well, it's a foundation. Yeah, who owns it? It's a foundation.
Well, it's a foundation. Who's the creator?
Well,
are we talking about God? What are you talking about? He's like, who is the creator here? That man is the epitome of a guy that watched The Social Network too many times and thought Justin Timberlake's character was cool. He's like, this is what it is. I'm going to be just like JT. I'm CEO, bitch. Hard. But he has, there's nothing. It's almost as confusing and it's like a fugazi. There's nothing behind his words.
Fairy dust.
It's just nothing. Yeah.
And when finally you could tell that Hailey, is her name Hailey again? Is that right? When Hailey got was over it, like they're in the middle of a conversation. Like, hey guys, I'm going to bed tonight.
I think I'm gonna go to bed now. So make it turn.
It sounded like someone who had been there for now hours. And she has no effing idea what anyone's talking about. No. And she's just trying to get out of a mess that her friends put her in. Yeah, I honestly don't think that
idiot friend. That guy is dumber. That Hailey Welch is eons more intelligent than whoever the fuck that man was that was speaking. he is a douche.
Yeah, he's really quite dumb.
He was. Yeah, it was pretty
Coffeezilla was going really hard though. I think he would have gotten I know. No, he can go hard. But you would have gotten more information by sort of playing the neutral party a little bit. He was coming at him as if that dude threatened his kids or something.
Did you see? There was a video recently. It was some guy who invested like 20 grand into the meme coin, and he made a video. It was like a dear Hailey Welch video. He's like, yeah, I put like 20 grand into this, and I'm just wondering if I can get like a refund or something. And it's just like, oh, bro.
It's so wild too, because like if you bought Dogecoin with that 20 grand, you would have 100 grand right now.
Yeah, or even Bitcoin back in the day.
Or Bitcoin. But like at the beginning of the year, had you bought Doge, like it would have been, you would have seen a 35-40% increase on your money.
Let me ask
you. And Doge isn't even stable. But you're gonna buy Hotcoin over Doge or Ethereum, you're nuts.
My dad, like 5 or 6 years ago, got us all like an amount of, I think, Bitcoin. And I just deleted the app because I was like, I can't keep up with this. I think it still sits there. I don't know what the app was.
It's worth a lot of money right now.
Yeah, you have a single Bitcoin. It's like
$100,000. It's just sitting there. So could I be rich right now?
Yes. Yeah, you could be a millionaire. You could legitimately be a millionaire.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys something.
The thing it was, I have to look into that.
Yeah, look into it. I'll tell you.
You need to call your dad immediately.
Yeah.
So.
Dude,
that's not even a joke. No, we're not joking. Call him right now.
We're not joking. A single Bitcoin means you don't got to be on the stream anymore. Hey guys,
I'm tired. I think I'm gonna head to bed.
I don't like learning shit anyways. I'm leaving. No, so about 20 years ago when I started my business, the t-shirt business, mixed tees, I wanted to be different. So Bitcoin was just becoming a thing. I added a way for you to check out using Bitcoin on my website. And I got put in like the local paper and stuff as like merchant taking, digital currency. Had a bunch of people come to the website. Most people use cash, but a few people use Bitcoin. And it was very difficult to maintain the checkout because Bitcoin's price was fluctuating so much. Well, we ended up with about 60 Bitcoin at one point. Because remember, remember, back then, 60 Bitcoins were worth like 18 to 20 bucks, right?
Yeah.
It was just a little over 60 Bitcoin. And it was
that's like $6 million now.
Yeah, I know. Let me finish. It was sitting in a wallet, and this is the biggest mistake my brother and I ever made, and I blame him for this. After the Christmas rush had died down, I told him like, "Hey, it's really hard to maintain this whole Bitcoin checkout. Like, I'm a coder, but I'm not good enough to maintain this like weird price break that I have to constantly build into this thing manually." He goes, "Well, just remove it then." People used it, but most people just use credit card. So I removed it, and I had the Bitcoin sitting in a wallet. About 3 or 4 months later, I'm like, hey, you want to transfer this Bitcoin out and turn it into cash? So it's worth like $20 a coin. And he's like, is it ever going to go up? And here's my mistake. Probably not. And he goes,
wow.
and he's like, all right, we'll just liquidate it. And a little over 60 Bitcoin, I transferred out and I paid a 10% fee, had it converted into cash and deposited in my account. 20 years later, I would be a multimillionaire.
Yeah. Right this very second, Bitcoin is at $100,242.09
Per coin.
For per coin.
But think about this: the people that spend
Kiana's
Bitcoin,
doing math right now. She's like, wait a minute.
I can't.
like I feel dumb. Like think about this: there are people 20 years ago that would spend an entire Bitcoin to buy one of my T-shirts.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Wild.
Odin, give me your thoughts on the Hawk 2 rug.
When's the Odin coin coming out?
Oh, never. I'm into Bitcoin a little bit, cryptocurrencies. So I have like Bitcoin, Ethereum is one that's really cool, and then I've got the Doge, of course.
Doge.
The Doge.
I love the Doge. If Doge ever like gets like even higher than what it already is, I'll be very happy.
I got so much Doge; it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't have like
Doge is number 2 on my investment list under Disney now.
Yeah, it's slightly below. It's third for me. It's third for me. I have 277 Doge coins.
Oh, I have like 2,000.
Nice.
I have a lot of Doge coin.
As far as the whole Hawk 2 stuff, like I just it frustrates me a bit, right? Because it's like, oh man, a simple comment of, in my opinion, degeneracy leads to fame and everything like that. It's just it's kind of it's commentary on our culture, right? And just how depraved our culture can ultimately be. Like the one positive thing that initially came from it was I heard she was using some of the money that she was getting to like help dogs and like animals and stuff like that. I'm like, okay.
She was doing a dog rescue for a couple of months there.
Yeah.
I thought that was like, oh, that's a solid way to use your fame.
And I was like,
that's
okay,
awesome.
that's pretty cool. And then I honestly don't know too much about the whole coin scam stuff because honestly, like on the surface, it sounds like, oh yeah, why would you be an idiot to buy a coin of this person? But then I think back to, well, this other person was saying something about a foundation. And so part of me was wondering, was it that she was getting people to buy the coin to invest in it as a way of funding whatever this foundation might have been, and was it a foundation related to animals? Like would it be something that you actually potentially could have been tricked into, where like, oh, I've seen you do these actions, I've seen you do these things for animals, and so I think I'm buying into that, when in reality I'm being scammed, right? That if that's the case, then I feel a lot worse for the people who are scammed. And I don't really, honestly, we could say one way or the other, like, oh, you're an idiot for trusting her at all because you don't really know her or anything. I don't really follow her enough to know exactly how upright she is as a person in the grand scheme of things. Obviously I would never follow that person just in general because it's just not my lane.
I have a question.
I do. Yeah.
Is it a scam? Is a rug pull a scam?
It depends. I think it depends on how much, because I honestly don't know what a rug pull is like in the full scheme of it. Like when I hear that expression, all I hear is you were promised something investment wise.
A rug pull is you promote a coin, and in this case, your own coin, and then once you get enough people to buy into it, you sell what
all the coin that you
have at the highest end, which drops the value of the coin significantly.
Yeah, no, I think that's bad. I think
it's bad, but is it illegal? Is it a scam?
It should be.
I mean,
because
you're promising something and then
because it's basically insider trading at that point, and which is what they're being claimed as doing, because most of the coins that were sold out at the highest part were all inside of the circle that Hailey Welch runs in, like her creators fund, the people who run her podcast, all that stuff. That's where all the majority of the coins were. Mm-hmm. And as soon as she got enough people to buy into it, all of those people had access to that coin pre the launch. So they didn't have to pay for it. So they invested zero money into it. And then as soon as the price got to a certain point, they all sold these coins that they just gave themselves for free. So it's insider trading, but it's basically the law that they broke. And there's other things.
Yeah, Tina mentions a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah. And then they buried it in the Cayman Islands, apparently.
Yeah.
They were talking about the Cayman Islands.
Trading and the Cayman Islands. Something is amiss.
We had to have a set of our Cayman Island account.
He's like,
if
do
I
you
was
know
talking
how much
to
it
why are you
costs
going
to
to
bury
the
money
Cayman
in the
Islands?
Cayman Islands?
It's like we had to go to the non-extradition company to store our money.
Nothing to see here. Not shady at all. We're good.
Why would you even mention that?
Yeah, it's like, why would you even mention the Cayman Islands?
Like, oh, you're cool, bro, but what the fuck are you? Yeah, okay.
Oh man, yeah,
It's
that's
not
crazy.
gonna very cool. You're not gonna feel cool when he's in prison.
If they
we'll
locked
see.
poor Martha Stewart up, then sorry.
True.
I mean, and she
Yeah.
didn't even know she was insider trading. I don't know if you saw the documentary. So these people certainly knew they were.
Yeah.
Not Hailey though.
You don't think Hailey? You think Hailey's pretty innocent in all this? Then
Anybody that's just like, well, y'all, I think I'm gonna go to bed. Shareholder meeting. I think,
She's clueless.
You guys keep talking about the Cayman Islands
yeah.
and the digital pennies and all that.
About the Cayman Islands. I said I never went to the Cayman Islands before.
I never been to the Cayman Islands. No.
Okay. Yeah.
I do got some quarters in my house, though. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna take a
I
nap.
don't think she's stupid. I think she's an intelligent human being and highly entertaining. And actually, people like her podcast.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like
Yeah.
a
This
podcast.
is not something that she probably has any idea about. Much like myself.
That's why
think so
there's
either.
potential that she could have some blame in this, because if they just brought it to a very like dumbed down and simple, like, hey, all we need to do is sign off on this and sell this coin and we'll make you a lot of money. Okay, I'll do that. Like that could be something that could happen, but
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it reminds me of like some of those people with like the NFTs, and like they're complaining online like, I bought my my toxic gorilla, it's reefer gorilla, and now it's not worth any money. And I'm like, and this is what I feel like I know exactly where Hayes coming from, because when someone says that, I'm like, what the fuck? You bought a toxic reefer gorilla, and now you're for $20,000, and now it's worth nothing, and you're fucking shocked? I don't get it. And where is the toxic reefer gorilla? Well, no, I don't have it. It's digital. So you bought a picture
Yeah.
of nothing?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't get it.
None of it makes any sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't make no
I
sense.
agree.
Like,
What does make sense is a $20 super chat. Oh, sorry, Dutch. Go ahead, man.
I said it makes as much sense as Hunter Biden selling art for $100,000.
you say that you don't want to have a Biden over your fireplace, man?
Listen, I would.
Biden.
I want one of those pictures. So bad. This is like
I want the Bill Clinton in the blue dress. That's the painting I want.
That's it.
Right here in the studio.
Yeah, didn't Epstein have that?
Yeah, he did.
Like,
He did.
talk about obviously Epstein was a monster, but imagine the cojones to take the president of the United States, paint him in a blue dress, and as a statement, you hang that in your house publicly.
Or the one with Bush with the paper airplane and the two little Jenga towers, and he's sitting there like that's another like dude, how freaking savage is that? All right, we got a $20 super chat from Bob Dorsey. He says XRP or XDC guys, meme coins are garbage. You deserve to fail if you invest heavily in them.
That's right.
Except for Doge.
I don't know.
No. Doge is surpassing the meme coin.
Yeah,
stats.
but isn't that solely based on Elon Musk's?
Yes,
that's his.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's the exact same thing as a
there's
hot
no utility
coin.
to a Dogecoin. There's not
Exactly. Yeah.
No.
I'm
It's just a
not
coin.
even convinced there's any utility to the American dollar at this point. So who am I to say you
it's
can't
not-
buy
yeah,
meme coins? You know
the
what I
only
mean?
utility is that you can buy shit on my website at mixtees.com. Great for Christmas gifts.
There you go.
It's true. It's true.
There you go.
Yeah, the
Thank
only
you, Bob
thing-
Dorsey, for that.
the,
very
only,
generous super chat.
the only thing that honestly, like, if you get into Dogecoin or a meme coin, if you're doing it for the lulz and you have actual expendable income, don't put actual like hard-earned money for investment into meme coin.
It's like my initial Dogecoin purchase was when we were talking at work and this Dogecoin thing first started out, and I pulled it up and it was like 12 cents. And the guys were like, I dare you to go buy like $20 worth. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go buy $20 worth. and I did.
To each other.
And I got like 200 of them for like $20 or something like that. And like, I never touched them, and I'm probably not going to touch them for another 10 years.
Yeah, I have a friend that's
maybe they'll
watching
be
right
worth
now.
some actual money back then.
Delete
I
the
got
app
a
and
friend
forget
that's
about it.
watching
Like,
that did something
Yeah.
similar. When it was
Definitely don't
at,
do that.
when it was at less than a penny, it was before it even reached the penny mark. It was like fractions of a penny. Someone dared him to spend his Christmas bonus on Doge because he loved Elon Musk so much. So he basically put like half his bonus into Doge when it was at less than a penny.
Oh,
And then like a
bitch now.
year later, the guy's like, hey, something about buying a house. And I'm like, you
Yeah.
should. He took like $1,000 and he turned it into like over 200 grand. with Doge. It's
What is that? How does that
incredible.
look on? What do you got taxed on for that? Is that capital gains tax or is that
I mean, he was able to buy a truck, so I'm assuming he got some money out of it.
like a truck? Well, I guess that's what if you got 200,000 and the truck's worth what 70?
It was like 70 grand, yeah.
Unless you got
Yeah,
that
yeah.
lightning truck F-150.
No,
Oh, that $100,000 freaking battery powered truck.
Dude, that thing looks horrible. Like, why is there no grill in the front? It looks like a
Because it
weird.
doesn't need one.
But it should have one just for us normies. It's confusing. I'm looking at this thing. It looks like the top of a battery. It's so gross looking.
We got a 199 super chat. Dutch, how do you say this name again?
Holy Fook cheese and rice.
This is another one for Keanu. Keanu lies beneath a cherry blossom swaying. I don't know what that means, but lies like you're lying to people. I've never heard Keanu lie to anybody.
So
ever.
this
I've
no,
never-
it's a Japanese thing. Keanu lies beneath cherry blossom sway.
So it's like a haiku.
All right.
I think he's into you, Keanu.
Oh, bro.
Hold
All
on.
right, another
Hold, okay.
Another one from Bob
Tom
Dorsey.
wasn't here. I had to
$40.
do it.
That's $40 from Bob Dorsey today.
Come get it.
One more just to counter Brian. Doge is the Jaguar of meme coins.
100%. No,
Absolutely. No, he's
I
right.
know if you don't have any money, first off, don't invest if you don't have any money. Go make some money first. But if you don't have any disposable income and you're like, well, maybe I can get rich if I buy Doge, that's the wrong play. Like all of my Doge has been purchased over years with excess $10 here, $15 there.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while, I've actually pulled out of it at the top. Like I pulled at 43 cents recently and then bought back in at 33. So I'm able to make a little bit of money on Doge, but in no way is it my retirement account.
No.
I'm not assuming it's going to be worth Bitcoin. Honestly, most people, Bitcoin is a little bit of an enigma. The fact that it hit 100K is really because it was the first, the reason, the most popular first.
Mhm.
And I don't know how many other coins are going to get to that status without utility. Like Ethereum has utility, so you need utility to be really worth something. And if you don't have utility, you're basically worth the American dollar.
Thank you.
That was for you, Alex.
Also, for YouTube's sake, none of us here are financial advisors. I'll just
Yeah, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I took an Ambien
Okay.
20 minutes ago. What are we talking
Oh
about?
man. Oh man. All right, Mr. Kadish, what's the next subject we're going to be talking about today? We've got Harry Potter race swap Snape. All right, that's not freaking surprising at all. Who here, by a raise of hands, is a Harry Potter fan? Oh, good. Okay, good. The majority of the people here. All right, I'm going to start with Dutch since he's right below me on the roster here. Talk to me, man. What's the word?
I'm a fan through my daughter. I haven't read all the books yet or anything like that, but I've seen all the movies and I really enjoyed watching my daughter be a little nerd when it comes to Harry Potter world. I've said it before, Harry Potter to her is like what Star Wars was to me. So now she gets to go through all the nonsense of them ruining her childhood, and with this new series. I don't know, this thing with Snape, it seems unnecessary and silly, and I'm not quite sure if I believe it all quite yet because I believe J.K. Rowling is involved. But she agrees with us on some things, but she's still a huge leftist SJW out there when it comes to most of the things that are in that world. So it's not going to shock me or surprise me if they do a few race swaps with this show that they're putting together. I don't want to see it. I think they should stick to the source material. There's pictures of Snape out there that the lady drew herself, and they look just like the character from the movies. So are they going to change some things? I guarantee you they probably will, and it would not shock me or surprise me if this happens. So
I just really want to see a gay trans Harry Potter,
yeah.
Harrietta Potter.
Yeah.
That's what we need. We need as much representation as possible.
Sure.
In our media, especially when we're referring to children that are wizards.
Mhm.
We need as much
Yes.
representation as possible.
I mean, I don't really have a stake in this fight because it's just not my thing. But it's going to be interesting to see how this generation, this world of Harry Potter freaks handle this, because I feel like it's going to be very similar to how how we dealt with Star Wars when George sold it and Disney ruined it. And it's probably going to be a Harry Potter fandom menace going to pop up on Twitter here pretty soon. It's going to be wild. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to create a whole new cottage industry of YouTube.
Yeah, there's going to be like a whole my kids are going to start YouTube channels about Harry Potter. Yeah, I gotta say though, like, if the guy is a good actor, like people might complain about it right now, but if the guy does a good job, then it will quickly soften the blow enough to forget.
Sure.
Yeah, look, I remember when people were pissed that that Daniel Craig's James Bond was going to be blonde and not brunette. You know what I mean? Like, okay, like there's a certain point where it's like, I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so this doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't even know who I called him Snipes when I first got in here, and Kate was just like, it's Snape, and I'm like, oh, okay, sorry.
Dude, the Harry Potter thing, when everyone was like, hey, they might race swap James Bond and Idris Elba might play it. I'm like, cool, as long as it's not a woman.
It's gotta be a dude.
As long as it's not a woman, I don't care.
Idris Elba would be dope.
Keanu, totally, right?
Yeah. Keanu, I'd love to get your opinion on the Harry Potter on the Snapes thing. Talk to me.
This doesn't bother me at all because listen, again, I think I said this earlier. Nostalgia is dangerous. If we're so invested in it being the exact same as it was what we grew up with, we just simply wouldn't remake it. If we were going to make Snape an actor that wasn't deceased, his name is Alan Rickman, Alan Rickman. You choose Adam Driver, but maybe he's busy, and obviously it's HBO. It's an HBO. This man must be an incredible actor, and it might be interesting to see how he does with the role. I'm not like, this is going to ruin it because they picked a black guy. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. As long as
they also got to remember this is going to be like a 10-year long commitment to these people that they signed to these roles.
Right.
They're doing the whole thing. And,
if it's good.
Yeah.
If it's not good and if it's not received, it'll be a 1-season commitment. That's for sure.
Well, it's Harry Potter. That's not going to happen.
I'm all for it. I'm excited to see.
Remember Fantastic Beast? We don't see any more of those, do we?
Well, they only made 4 of them. So
did they make 4 of those?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm taking that back. I thought they made 2.
Or was it 3?
I don't know.
I think there's 4.
But
I don't know.
What happened with, because that was around the time that Johnny Depp was in court with Amber Heard, and they got rid of him and replaced him with somebody else in like the 3rd movie or something.
Yeah, they made 3. 4 is being discussed.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Odin.
I mean, I'm wrong though. You're right. No.
I doubt that it'll get made, but yeah.
Odin, do you think this will ruin the TV adaptation of Harry Potter?
I wouldn't say that it would ruin it. It really comes down to the actor. I mean, we've seen this happen before where someone who doesn't seem to fit the part is able to win hearts and minds because their performance is just that good. I don't necessarily think that the chances of that are likely for this because I just don't really know the actor that well, and his past history doesn't really seem to indicate that this would be the kind of role for him. But I think the big thing is, of course, this is just a rumor. This is just speculation, and we see this happen a lot where these companies will just drop names here or there, will drop leaks just to test the waters, and just to also sometimes they do it just to find their holes, right? Just to find the people that are leaking information. So I think that would probably be a higher chance of that being the case than this being an actual legitimate casting decision. But we know that's going to happen. We know that there's going to be at least one, probably more than one character that is traditionally understood to be a white character who's going to be race swapped in some way. The big question for me is, are they going to choose an actor that might actually fit the part and might actually, be able to win those hearts and minds over? That still remains to be seen at this point.
They're gonna get rid of the redheads first.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they've already done that.
Yeah, Hollywood's already
Hermione's in trouble.
Yeah, they Hollywood hates redheads for some reason. It's
Yeah,
so crazy. It's weird. I don't know. As a non Harry Potter fan, it just doesn't bother me. It just really depends on how it's going to be. I'm going to be coming into the Harry Potter universe through this show, basically. I don't care about the old movies. I don't like kids in movies, so immediately I'm like, it's not for me. The show, if I'm being forced to watch it for the Salty Nerd podcast show, or if we're going to review it or something, I'll probably check it out. But that's going to be my introduction to Harry Potter. So, I mean, there's probably going to be a number of cast.
The movies are great. I love the movies. I don't.
It was so exciting. I think I was like the age of I like Daniel Radcliffe, like just each one coming out each year. It was so exciting. You kind of like grew up with them. Like me and my brother like sort of grew up with them. I only read the 4th book.
And that's why I really enjoyed those movies with my daughter, because she was the exact same age as those kids.
Yeah.
Growing up through the thing, and she read every book with every movie. Every year we went and watched the new movie on my wife's birthday. It was my daughter's present to my wife. Every year we had to go watch a stupid Harry Potter movie, which my wife was like, "Oh, watch another dumb Harry Potter movie." But okay, let's go. Let's have fun.
Same thing,
but
right.
yeah, it was super fun, and I loved doing it with her. And
So, but again, there's remakes for a not that the past was bad, but no, let's open it up to a new audience. I'm excited.
But what the Harry Potter fandom is going through is what a Star Wars fandom. One of the biggest controversies out there is Disney going to remake the original trilogy, and all of us old school fans, at least most of the ones I know, we're like, they better not touch it. They better not recast Luke Skywalker and all those people. And, the longer it goes now, the more, Mark Hamill opens his mouth. I'm kind of like all for it. Let's replace it.
Yeah.
But I don't, we're like, please don't touch those movies, and I'm kind of wondering how Harry Potter fans are feeling about them redoing those movies, but in series form on HBO. So, it'll be really interesting to see how that all goes down to me.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Bob Dorsey coming in hot with some sarcasm. Let's pull that super chat up. $10 says, that's cool. The new Blade can be Ryan Gosling as Blade, as long as he does the character service. It won't really matter who's in the role.
He's right. He's right.
Yeah.
Stick to the source material, man.
Look, Black Panther can be freaking, Brad Pitt next time.
Yeah,
That's fine.
do it.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
No, but I haven't read the book, so I can't really say who. Oh, I missed a
White
Ajax super
Panther.
chat. White Panther. Oh, Jesus. It sounds so much worse. What is Snape's described as in the books? I've never read the books. Does anybody know?
Pallid, sallow skin, sour milk.
Yeah, so his actually has.
He's a white guy with dark hair in the book.
I haven't asked my wife about this specific casting, but I remember when there was rumor that they were looking at, I think it was a biracial girl to play Hermione. Like there was some controversy over that, and I remember asking my wife, and she said, "Well, she's like, well, remembering from the books, that actually wouldn't necessarily not work, because in the book they don't really specifically go and explain her skin color. The only time that they mention is that her skin like browns in the sun at one point, and it's like, well, if you are a mixed race person, then obviously I think that would be something that still."
I get red. I don't get brown.
My wife is Mexican, and I'm German, like white. I'm like Anglo-Saxon white, and our kids,
he's transparent.
In the wintertime, our kids are white. In the summertime, those boys are like a bronze brown, and I'm like, who the hell is this kid?
My wife is Mexican, and I'm pretty much white too. Same thing. I get red. My kids get golden.
Yeah, exactly. We got a $20 Canadian super chat from Ajax113. Again, super fan of the gaming channel. I'm going to have to read this directly into the camera. Here we go. Disclaimer: all business advice provided on the stream and chat are for entertainment purposes only and do not represent actual financial advice. Okay,
it's true. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajax, for that. That was a very professional way of saying, "Don't listen to us. We're stupid."
Bye.
Another $1.99 from how do you say that again? They're Dutch.
Holy folk, cheese and rice.
Holy folk, cheese and rice.
Jesus, this is getting awkward. I apologize in advance, Kanye.
Every week.
Wait.
You do it. You do it.
I want. I have a horrible
me.
Voice. Yeah. Do it real soft, like soft,
like an Asian dude, like a samurai,
but quiet, and with a deep resonance in your voice. Soft
I don't know if I could do that.
You can do it. I've been smoking my whole life. It's got to be you.
I don't know, man.
All right, I'll do it. Okay, God damn it.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, go.
Keanu, soft as May, youthful whisper, petals bright. Keanu.
I think I'm gonna head to bed, y'all.
Yeah, let's see how awkward we can make Keanu feel throughout this.
That was the whitest reading of that I've ever heard in my life.
Thank you for whispering sweet nothing.
Perfect callback.
Okay.
Soft as you, youthful whisper, petal bright, Keanu.
Speaking of the next topic.
Yeah, speaking of the next topic.
Oh,
God, this is a big one here.
He's really making us talk about this.
He's really making
Why?
us talk about this.
Man.
I don't know. Porn star will admit to have sex with attempt attempt to have sex with 1,000 men in one day, and it's sparking. Okay, so I listened to her interview, surprisingly, because it popped up on my feed, and I was like, yeah, all right, I gotta listen to this shit. Here's the plan. Here's her game plan. Okay, she's in a room. It's got a door on one side, door on the other side. They've got a revolving train of dudes standing in line. She says, if I've done the math right, they each have about 60 seconds, which is a maybe 1-2 pumps in, and then move on to the next one. And she's trying to beat the previous record, which is in the mid 900s, 930,
it's like 700 and something. I think. I don't know.
No, it was 9 when she said it. It was, I think it was 9.
Oh.
But anyway, that's besides the point. So she's trying to set the record. I don't know why this record needs to be set.
Why can't you? I'm sorry, but why can't she just do more than one at a time?
What?
No, I'm not trying. Look. I'm not trying to be weird and crass. Look,
Odin's out. He's leaving.
Remember that show Silicon Valley?
He's thinking
Silicon Valley had a good point though.
Yeah.
Like you can go like this, or you can double them up, right?
Well, she's not. It's not hand jobs, man. It's full on penetration.
So it has to be only proper.
Oh my
machine.
gosh! Why are we talking?
Ask Kadish.
I mean, technically, you could do 2 at a time then, but it gets
okay. I do have one question.
Imagine being 913th on this list.
Yeah,
Holy
I
shit.
have a couple. I have a couple.
No
Comments.
thanks.
Brian, I have a couple comments. First off, did you send your application in with your picture next to your ID, like it says? You have to have your ID up next to your actual face. So,
what are you talking about, bro? I was talking about that.
And second off, we need to get the kit together with the cameras for the portable stuff, and we need to go there and we need to interview all these guys in the line, because that's where the story is.
The story is the guys.
The story is the guys in the line that sent their applications in to be a part of this.
Dude, and the guy that's like 737, I want to talk to him after he finished.
Yeah.
After he finishes,
So
and just record the pure uncut shame. That
have
would
to be uncut?
resonating off this man like a fucking supernova. Oh my god! Like,
Keanu,
talk about the ultimate? What is it? Like the post nut clarity when you walk out as after being 757, and you see all these fucking guys. You're like,
look, even the lady, the woman in the interview that's going to attempt this feat of extraordinary insaneness was like, it's gonna. She's like, I'm planning on being pretty sore by 400, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, can you imagine being the last dude in line? And this lady's just like, oh, like just dead freaking tired, like drinking on electrolytes on the side, like, bro.
Right. Yeah, she's mainlining Gatorade. Like,
yeah,
please help me. Right.
I don't get
she
it.
has
man.
an IV.
Yeah,
you have to
it's
give her an
gross.
IV.
IV and like a beep, beep, beep. Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
No,
Trevor.
I-
Like,
Trevor.
If I ran the Saturday
Some
show,
guy named Trevor is like, what the fuck?
what do you mean? Yeah. Okay. This makes
Moving
absolutely no sense.
I think this woman needs an exorcist, is what she needs.
yeah, I think you're right.
this is rough.
Ah,
This is rough,
Too
man.
much. Too much.
Like honestly, in what world does this be like? Oh, this is something I want to have as a goal in my life.
yeah, right.
Like,
It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know.
Gosh,
It's got to be an industry thing. I'm assuming she's just like, oh, I don't know,
I mean, let's
dude.
be real. She probably has an OF, and this is probably a promotion for that.
She's
Right.
probably gonna start a meme coin.
What if she taps out after like 3, and it's all just a farce?
But it doesn't matter. Even if she doesn't end up going through with it for whatever reason, like the press she's gotten for her website, whatever you want to call it, is probably the intended. Probably what she intended.
Yeah,
You can't go
yeah.
through with this. It
This-
seems like the way another pandemic will start or something.
Thank you. Thank. It's like a
Super
super
monkey
spreader.
COVID box.
And just the logistics of it. Like, at what point in the line do you have to get naked and like? Because
Yeah,
is everybody
Who's
gonna be? Yeah,
There's 900 guys, and they're all just so slowly beating their socks.
Exactly, like
Well,
they're
like,
gonna.
I think-
Do they delouse them and spray them down before they? before they
It's-
enter her. Like they have to put their girl.
Brian's losing his mind over here.
Right. In 60
I think
seconds.
Odin was out the second the freaking thing
Oh,
came
yeah.
out.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just,
So
I'm
it's
that's
just
the point though. I just imagine like the line of naked guys.
Right,
Yeah.
1,000 men. Right, the line will be around the block. At what point do you have to remove your clothing, and where do you put it? Are there cubbies? Do they have locks? Like, and like, how do you get erect in line talking to a bunch of other dudes? And then you have
Well, you got how many fluffers are there going to be? How many?
Right.
Oh, hey, it's Matt. What's up, Matt?
Sweet chariot,
Hey, Matt, can I cut in front of you?
coming for to carry me.
It's like dudes in lines like, bro, I got to pee. Can you hold my spot for me? I'll be back.
All right,
So
moving on.
let's
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Jesus.
Yeah, we're getting some super chats though. Hold on a second.
We're all gonna burst into flames the next time we walk into a church now.
Oh man, let me see here. 199 from Shorty Short says for the love, I guess, of all that is good and holy, change topics. Thank you.
Done.
And listen, you guys can send an angry email or angry tweet to Matthew Kadish at Matthew
Yes.
Kadish on X.
Blow him up, please. Thank
Mephisto's
you.
movie reviews for 15 Dogecoin. Ghetto Boy said it first. You gotta let a hoe be a hoe.
Wait, was that actually with Dogecoin?
No, I don't know what that symbol is. I don't know
Okay.
what that symbol is. Does
Like,
anybody
when
know
did
what that
YouTube
symbol
start
is?
allowing for crypto? That'd be amazing.
That'd be awesome,
That'd
actually.
be weird. What is it? Israeli coin.
okay.
Okay,
Oh.
cool, good deal.
Oh,
How does
shekels,
Kadish
yeah.
know that?
It shows how cultured we
'Cause
are.
he-
we
he-
thought Israel's money was
God
Dogecoin.
No, because he donates every week. He donates every week.
Okay,
So it's
okay.
shekels. Yeah.
Okay, $5. She can technically do 3 holes at a time. Okay, Jesus Christ.
I like how he ends it with "Hi, Odin."
Hi, Odin.
Yeah,
Lucky.
yeah. What is?
That's a good
Kadish is going to clip this section out. It's going to be Odin feels awkward. That's going to be the title of the thing.
Yep.
Oh boy,
That's
what's
still-
Token Catholic on panel is not comfortable.
talking about porn? Yeah, it's good.
Jesus
TikTok
Christ.
ban.
All right.
It was not just about that topic. Gosh.
Oh, boy, TikTok ban. Let's just why not ban TikTok? I don't know why this is still even a topic. I thought we did this already. To be honest with you, I thought
Well,
we
it's
did
going-
this in like 2017.
It's going through the courts
Like
now.
any malware, it's hard to get rid of them.
I guess. Is that everybody's opinion on TikTok? I know, like, I got TikTok early on when it first popped out. I downloaded it and I was on it and I was doing stupid like lip sync movie, thing. I did like Jeff Goldblum's thing from Jurassic Park on TikTok. It got 1 million views or something stupid like that, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. But then I looked at the views and they were all from freaking India or something, so it was like fake. It was all nonsense. So TikTok has been through a roller coaster ride of people loving it, people hating it. Now we find out that it's pure malware. It's just spying on you. And they're actually in this article that we pulled up. It was actually describing how it was used to spy on several journalists who are covering the ban. So there's legit concerns over this being something that's used as a weapon against the American people. I know that there've been podcasts and experts on Joe Rogan who've talked about how it's like, it's actually a different app in the United States than it is in China. China has a completely different algorithm for TikTok. And here in the States, it's just a freaking wonky cesspool. But in China, it's actually pretty educational and there's actually like a value to it. So
it's because the algorithm is designed to sexify men and promote chaos.
Well, the algorithm it's set up to smarten up their people and dumb ours down.
Right.
exactly.
That's what's going on.
That's actually confirmed. That's not just us talking out our ass.
Yeah,
I've heard
yeah,
several.
that's happened, yeah.
So I'm surprised it's still a thing in the United States.
It's not going to go anywhere, dude. Even with the ban, they'll just sell controlling shares to an American business, and it won't.
What
go
will I do when I'm bored if there's no TikTok?
Well, I'll tell you, Keanu.
Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram have already taken over that format. I used to be TikTok all day, and now it's like Instagram and Facebook. There's better content on Facebook.
The shorts and the reels, exactly.
Yeah.
I've always heard
TikTok.
This about
it's like video, ad, live, ad, video, ad, live, ad. It's every 7 swipes you get an actual video.
You know what it does, because I use TikTok early. I use it often. I don't post too much on there, but it does. It's adrenaline and happiness to your people dancing and
Yeah.
doing all that stuff. But when you just said that they kind of spy on you, sometimes I swear to God, I will think something. I think I need toothpaste and I have a toothpaste ad, or like I think they are, which in some cases I guess is helpful, but what point does it cross the line? I am not of the thought that it is exactly, but
yeah, there's coding in some of these apps, and I'm not just speaking specifically about TikTok. It's also Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that have access to your microphone, and they will listen to what you're saying. I had a conversation with my wife the other day about dog food because we have a new puppy,
right? And
we're trying to discuss what kind of dog food we want to get her. And I get ads for freaking dog food all the time, and I'm like, I've never Googled what kind of dog food to get. I'm like, I just go to Petco and buy whatever looks nice, and like. Why is my phone selling me dog food right now? It's because my wife and I had a conversation while we were watching freaking something on TV, and my phone heard me. That's creepy.
Exactly what it is. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. I don't know if that was meant to be designed to be helpful or creepy.
Well, they say it's like, oh, well, this is designed to help you guys with your search algorithms and help you buy more suitable things online and yada yada yada. But I feel like that's just that's a curtain for what's actually going on.
Are they saying that they're trying to ban TikTok again in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Or is that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what happens is they have to sell the majority share of the U.S. TikTok to a non-Chinese company.
And they're not going to do that.
But but they can also break up the majority share and sell it to like 8 shell companies.
Yeah.
And which is probably and all it needs to be is majority owned in the United States. Doesn't have to be majority owned. Like, that's what they're going to do. They're smart. They're clever people. If they want to keep their app here, they're going to figure out how to do it. And nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
Odin, do you have anything to dump on this topic?
I mean, yeah, I'm like in that mixed ground when it comes to like the banning of TikTok in general, because I think that it's something that, I'm for in many ways, but I'm also a little bit more, hard line on this one, because I think that we should have more restrictions on who can access the internet, at what age can you access the internet, that kind of thing. But at that level, it has to be handled at a more localized level. It shouldn't be handled at a federal level, state level to a certain degree. Maybe I do like that there are certain states that are going after certain things, because I think that's where it ultimately should be. But even more so, it should be at even more local level. Like it should be at the town, city, and ultimately the most important should be the family. Like the family should have that ultimate say. But the family clearly needs a lot of help, because there's so many apps and there's so many things and back doors into these things and access to these things. So I think that having it maybe at a slightly higher level would make more sense to give families a bit more help, but it should be, I think, ultimately a family decision versus anything else.
Yeah.
And
that comes down.
They've eroded the family to the point where it's most families are not, like, mother and fathers have to work 8-9 hours a day. Kids are being essentially raised by the school and other kids. And then when you finally get time off, you're like, well, play on your phone. Oh, I'm going to put restrictions on it so you can't use it best this time. But there's 15 other apps that aren't even a part of that ecosystem. The problem is the American family has been eroded to the point where it's very difficult to keep your kids pure. You have to be really diligent. We need to be promoting family so that these bans don't matter, and that the family will be raising their kids and teaching them right from wrong, and instead of worrying about China doing it.
Yeah, there's no bigger babysitter than the phone screen with TikTok and Instagram on it right now. So.
Right. You just give your kid an iPad and it watches 6 TikToks
and I don't know how many times I've been
gender all of a sudden, even and that's fine. That's it just depends on how you want to raise your kids. It's like
I was
if I had a screaming child, I would be the first one. Unfortunately, this is why I would never have children.
Right.
I'd be the first one to give them an iPad. I'm like, you want to start do a TikTok dance, because that's perfectly fine. But it's not right for everybody. It feels like you kind of have to either don't let them have any screens at all until you think that they're responsible enough with it, or
you just monitor it.
There's a big movement happening actually right now in the country with this, because there was a book that came out last year that dealt with basically the anxiety generation. I think it's called the anxiety generation. the anxious generation, and it deals a lot with basically screen time amongst young kids and how it impacts them socially.
Yeah.
And basically there's a direct connection between social media use and increase in suicide, increase in anxiety, increase in all these things. And so a lot of the recommendations are actually being taken on now by a lot of parents, in fact, who are reading the book, who are creating these groups at schools, like where states actually, Louisiana, banned all cell phones for students in high schools. So students in high schools cannot have.
Makes complete sense to me.
And it's like that. That's like, and that's what you have to do it though, because if you do it at the local school level, the parent backlash is actually where the problem is, because it's just like, what do you mean I can't know where my child is 24/7 and contact them at every time and every moment? It's like, look, I understand you wanting to have that. I get that with my own kids, but at the same time, if I knew that there was something that was going to, in very like strong likelihood, cause
AirTag
harm to
Slap
them,
an AirTag in their backpack.
Not even, dude. I had a cell phone in school. You know what? It was a flip phone. I could text, but it took me 45 minutes to say hi to somebody. Like those are still available. You can.
Bring back the flip phone.
Listen, you know what I had? I had a payphone at the office that I had to go call my mom and dad on if I wanted to talk to them. Because you know what I didn't want to do when I was in high school and junior high? I didn't want to talk to my mom and dad. I didn't want to have nothing to do with them. It was my time. I was cool, man. And you know, it's just how it was. You know, I don't know how these kids. You know, it's like, why would these kids want a leash on around their neck 24 hours a day? Because that's what a phone is. That's how I kept track of my kids. I got phone, so I know where you are every single second.
The reason I got my kids phones last year was to know where they were going on a school trip, and I wanted to be able to know where they were and contact them. And I put that Google Family thing on there, so they can really only use it when I say they can use it. And now they have a tracking device. I can even listen in on it. It's pretty awesome.
I guess I'm just I guess I'm just from a generation that, you know, my parents were like, be home by dinner, you know, and if you need something, call collect. Okay.
Yeah, have you done that? Where you would call collect and you'd be like, hey, Dad, I'm big.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. It was just, you know,
next you want to call collect.
I remember that commercial was like, oh, Sarah and John had a baby. It's a boy.
It's 100% accurate. 100% accurate. Exactly. But you know,
we had to come inside when the street lights turned on. That was the rule. And there were commercials. There were commercials on TV that remind our parents that they had kids. Hey, it's 9 p.m. Do you know where your kids are?
Yeah, I remember those.
That's horrifying.
I remember that
was a real thing. Dude, we're the forgotten generation, man. We grew up with parents like that.
I went home one time. Me and my brother, we were out playing all day with our friends. He grew up on the ranch. We were just doing all kinds of stupid shit. And we would go home and it got dark. And I remember one time my brother fell off of a cliff or some stupid shit. And we went home and my mom looked at him. She goes, well, what happened to you? And I fell down. And she had to take him to the hospital and get like 6 stitches on his face. But
that would be a time for a child to have a cell phone. Hey, Mom, I fell off of a cliff.
But you know what?
Please take me to the hospital.
He got that wound in the morning, and we didn't get home till like 6 hours later. He was fine.
Yeah, I broke my arm once playing by trying to swing out of a tree on a giant rope like an idiot. And I had to walk home with like a dislocated arm. Dude, I was like 2 miles away. Yeah. I'm just like walking. I'm like, damn, my arm hurts, bro. Man, my cousin's like, yeah, your bone is sticking out of your arm. We had no phones or anything, dude.
And you had another, and
I would never sleep again. That is truly traumatizing.
And Brian, Shane was probably standing on the other side of you going, don't be a pussy. Let's go play.
Yeah. Shane's like, hey, bro, can you test this rope out for us?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was
the test dummy.
But back to the other subject. I just want to say about phones babysitting kids. I just think it's terrible. It's a terrible habit. People need to raise their children. I spent an hour and a half 2 weeks ago in a restaurant with a 3-year-old, and we had a blast coloring a placemat with a bunch of stuff on it because the parents of this child do not let the phones babysit these kids. And I'm talking about my best buddy over here, Alex, and his 3-year-old kid. And I had a great time, and I was really impressed with how the boys acted that night. So it was just a recent experience.
Crazy kids that you feel like need to have the phone. It's not the kid's fault.
No,
it's not.
Well, it's that. Well, what happens is it's like a negative feedback loop, and I've experienced this firsthand with my kids, which is one of the reasons why we don't do phones. Is that the more you give them that heavy dopamine hit of having a phone, the crazier they act, especially if you take it away. or if like, hey man, the phone's dead. Like there's been so many times where my phone's been dead. And my kids are like, I want to watch Bluey. I'm like, I can't, dude. Your phone's. They just start freaking out. And it's because like, okay, they had that freaking dopamine hit, and now you've taken that dopamine away from them, and they just lose their shit.
Yeah, you're making heroin addicts, dude.
It's way easier to just cut that whole thing out and not have that huge dopamine hit, and then they're much more level-headed and much more.
It's
like
heroin.
Have
It's the same
phones
concept.
and tablets and things?
What's that?
Do their friends have phones and tablets and things?
Some yes, some no. We run a pretty tight circle of friends. We're all homeschooled and we're all this.
Oh,
but
okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
my
They're
10-year-old almost my 10-year-old does often is like, Dad, I want a phone so I can FaceTime Ollie. So I'm like, okay, Ollie's his cousin. And I'm like, okay, cool, man. I'll give you my phone and you can call Ollie and you can talk to your buddy or you can hop
That
online
works that
and
way.
play.
You're not reading
Yeah.
to them by candlelight or anything.
No.
Not Amish.
No, not at all. Yeah.
In the olden days.
That's a good,
In the time before 4.
Yeah.
What was really telling about that whole thing is like I'd sit there with your youngest and we'd pass the crayon back and forth and we would color one part of the thing and we had a great time. But meanwhile, in the booth right next to us, there's this couple with their kids and they're screaming their bloody head off because their phone is out of batteries or something. It was crazy. It's just like, come on, man.
Well, there's real psychology.
Teach your kids some manners.
There's real psychology behind like, hey, if TikTok is, I mean, I'm not trying to pick on TikTok. It's pretty much any social media app.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and all these guys,
YouTube.
They don't let their kids play on these apps. Like, oh yeah, I designed this app and I know the science behind it. My kids don't have it. Like, you got to ask yourself why, right? There's a reason for that.
Just
I
like
love
you
that
would
they
not
openly admit that. That's
they
weird.
do all the time. Yeah, they super do. Yep.
Just like you wouldn't let a gambling addict into a casino, you should not give a phone to a child because those apps are designed to make them phone addicts. And so you are then just giving them that poison every single time that you give it to them in that way, if they've ever had time to develop that addiction.
We all know what it's like. I mean, I sat down there on the couch and I'll start doom scrolling on Instagram. and next thing you know, an hour and a half has gone by and it's dark outside and you're like, what in the hell just happened? It's crazy. You know, so yeah. Watching Tuah Girl going, I spin that thing. It's like,
1,000 times.
Yeah.
You're like, God, I love this woman.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go to bed now. So, okay.
I'm going to bed now.
I'm gonna go to bed.
You can put the phone down and go to bed too, sir.
Oh man! Speaking of which, I think it's almost time for us to wrap up the show. It's been a nice solid hour and 45 minutes. We're gonna do a couple super chats before we do, though. Let's see. Oh man, another one from.
Come on, Alex.
Only for cheese and rice.
Do it, Alex.
The 199 says, "You bloom in the tender moonlight, a new Keanu."
Is this guy outside my house or something?
I'm worried. I'm worried at this point. I'm worried at this point.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll buy you a new pack of cigarettes. I know you smoked about 6 of them so far. This cappuccino tastes better. Cappuccino. I have Dunkin' today.
By Dunkin'.
Yeah,
One
by
of
the
my-
way,
my
coffee is not
macchiato.
supposed to be bitter. So, like,
No, it's not.
You're making it wrong.
It's burnt.
If it's
burnt.
bitter.
If it's bitter, it's burnt.
This is not rocket science. We're like, oh, it needs more cream. No, it's bitter. You're burning it. Stop
We have
burning coffee.
We got stale beans.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you need cream and sugar. These things were invented because you're messing the coffee up. Stop it. My wife is just like, I love Folgers. I'm like, no, you love crap burnt coffee. You just don't know.
All right. Let's round this one up. Dutch, what do we got going on for the gaming channel? I know we're having a lot of fun over there.
Well, we're doing our Tuesday podcast for Salt Divers, talking about Hell Divers. I think we're going to be doing some stuff with some video game related streaming shows coming up. What is the show on Amazon called? Next Level. Secret Level. We're going to be doing reviews of those shows over there because they're video game related.
I want to join you for that.
Okay.
I want to hot drop into that A-Team review.
No sweat. Yeah, we got the A-Team boys, where we do streams for shooting type games, everything from Helldivers to Dark Tide and some other stuff that we're playing over there on our late night streaming show, and we're just being nerds and having fun. So
right on. Cool. Brian, what do you got going on over there at the podcast? You got a big review coming out, or big edit that
Big
you're
documentary coming out tomorrow, hopefully, if our sponsor approves the ad. If not tomorrow, then Monday. I really don't want to release on Monday, but I will, because sponsors pay the bills over here, unfortunately. And they're good people. But so come look for that, please, on my main channel. It's youtube.com/thepodcast. We make documentaries, and they are incredibly intensive, and they take hundreds of hours to create. And that comes out tomorrow or Monday, either one.
All right, cool. Drop a link in our Discord. Go Salty Nerd Discord, guys. We have a really great growing community over there. Brian, I hope you drop a link in that channel, because I always do.
I promote my videos in your Discord constantly.
Perfect. Yeah. Good deal. All
I
right.
was banned once, but I keep doing it.
You were banned? What? I didn't do that. Odin, what you got going on, brother?
Yeah, you can find me over at OMB Reviews on YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble, also over on Twitter/X, and I have my box office breakdown video dropping tomorrow sometime around 3 p.m. And then my live stream every Monday evening, 7:45 p.m. Eastern time, where we talk box office movies and a lot of stuff to talk about with Wicked and Moana 2 going to battle, it seems.
Right on. My wife is super stoked for Wicked, and could care less about me on it. Moana.
Wife and I have a date night tonight to see Wicked, so
nice.
You're gonna love it. I'm telling you. Even though the press tour was a complete farce, and
how freaking weird were they acting during the press tour?
Weird.
But once you see the movie, you'll understand the emotion, I think, because I was right there with you. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah, I've been sending my wife clips of the interviews, and I'm like, are these women okay?
What are these women on? What is happening?
They are freaking me out. They look like Skeletor. They're scary. I don't know what's going on. Keanu, what do you got going on with Keanu Cast?
Keanu Cast, you can find it. We're part of a network now, so you can find Keanu Cast wherever you find your podcasts, Apple, Spotify.
Nice.
But Keanu C. Thompson on YouTube, we're live 3 or 4 times a week. And then if you want to see me do stand up, for my comedy dates, refer to Keanu C. Thompson Twitter or Instagram. Off the top of my head, December the 29th, you can come see me at Rodney's Comedy Club in Manhattan if you're in the area for the Gino Bisconti birthday show. But again, it's just Keanu C. Thompson, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and wherever you find your podcast.
Right on. Good deal. We got one final super chat from JT over there, Late Night with Cat podcast. He says, hey, nerds, have a great weekend. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Sound off. Everybody, thank you so much. If you are interested in finding out what's going on with the Salty Nerd podcast, where we sit down at a table, the 4 of us, and review movies, that will be coming back soon. We're taking a little bit of a hiatus to try to figure out what we want to do moving forward, but we do have plans to continue that. So I appreciate the messages that I've been getting about when we're coming back. We don't have a solid date yet, but it's probably going to be at the beginning of 2025. We have a brand new studio that we're building out right now here at Las Vegas Podcaster Studios. And I would like personally to launch the new SMP from that new studio, because it's it's so dope.
I need a table.
You need a table. You need a table.
I need a desk. I gotta hide behind something.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the show, everybody. Have a great Saturday. We'll see you next week. And as always, stay salty.